Hey, how's it going? Today I have Healy on the DG show and the man. And first of all, I want to tell you thank you. I know
So
you're
we've
busy.
started filming.
We did.
Yeah, man.
We
There's no time here to practice on the DG
Zero.
show.
No, we're going straight into it.
Yeah,
You don't need practice.
Yeah, he didn't even do the thing where we're starting. But go ahead, please continue.
We're in.
Yeah, the teleprompter has stopped.
So
yeah,
we're going. You just had a brand new baby girl dad times two.
yeah. Technically, my wife delivered it. But yeah, hopefully, Yeah, this would be a really awkward way to find out. She looks a lot like me. Our first daughter looks a lot less like me, but yeah, we had a child couple days ago.
Yeah. What's the name? And ironically, because we're sitting in the greatest music collection in the world, it has to be. I don't know if that's fact, but I'm gonna say it.
No, it's fact. Yeah, it's been written down and signed off on, so it's a fact. Yeah,
That it truly is the world's largest.
I don't know if it's the world's largest, but it's the best, right? Just like the DG show, right? It's the top rated show ever, and then in small print by Dustin. And so this is the greatest. Audience is laughing because we did now audience applause. Yeah, there we go. See, man, I tell you what,
DG show. We're getting the tea with DG.
It's so cool to do this in front of a live studio audience. It took us a while to get people off the streets to come and be a part of this, but it's amazing what happens when you hand out free roofs. Which I'd like to go ahead and thank one of our first sponsors, Results Roofing.
Yes, one of the very first ones. Yeah. The only one, actually.
Yeah. And thank you to our last sponsor, Results Roofing.
Yeah, that's all. That's quick. Not goat fuel.
No,
or
I want to thank. Yeah, y'all should thank us because you have our money. But we're waiting for you guys to sponsor it. Anyway, back to you were saying something really nice about me.
It was super nice. I take it all back. But
crowd, boo! Oh man,
boo!
Oh man,
DG show.
Yeah, DG.
We are in this incredible music collection, which everybody can see. We're going to show you. But what are your daughters' names?
We have our first daughter. By the way, is this mic close enough to my throat? I just want to make sure. We play with pain here on the DG show. Our first daughter, her name is Healy, after Don Henley of the Eagles, who's my favorite American musician of all time, and thankfully my wife as well. And then our second daughter, born February of 24. I don't know when this is going to air, but her name is Collins, and we named her after Phil Collins, who is my favorite non-American musician ever. And
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, super fun fact. And then we're having at least 100 kids because we want to do one from each country. So by the time this airs, we'll probably have our own show on TLC.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
100 kids and counting.
Is that what it really? How many do you think is the number you're gonna have?
We're going for 4, ideally.
Really?
Yeah, but I haven't slept in a week, and so
Rethinking that.
Yeah, we're thinking about.
You look like it.
The older kid. If anyone's watching this and wants her, just send me a message. You can bring her back when she's sleeping well again, or you can just keep her.
Either way, I got one I'll throw in. If you're not, I got a couple boys. You can pick which one you want.
Yeah, so we're actually about to get canceled. So anybody watching this that has another show and that is paying, we'd love to be a part of that. These are fake Nikes. Audience laughter.
Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, these are not fake, but hey,
what are we doing?
They're a little dirty.
Here? No, back to the DG show.
Yeah, back to the DG show. This is what happens when you get with Healy.
What does DG even stand for?
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and
Doing
say
good.
Dustin Gutkowski, DG.
Doing good.
Yeah,
I have the. I'm doing the DGR show. I'm gonna do doing gooder. So tune in if y'all could swipe up on the link.
Whoa, swipe wrong app, buddy.
To subscribe to my show, the DGer show.
Can you please let his wife know that he's swiping on apps? That's probably not a good thing.
She's not watching this.
We're gonna send her the clip. She's not a fan.
That's cool, Rogers. I'm like, no, it was terrible. Anyway, sorry.
So back to it. This is what with your music collection.
Yeah.
You have it's super special. How long have you been collecting music memorabilia?
Since I was a kid,
so now, yeah.
No, so I think that to kind of play off that, one of my missions as an adult and as a father is I feel like every person should feel like a kid, not a child, and this is my way of staying connected. But I started when I was like 3 years old, so in 1983. I randomly got an autographed photo of Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers, and my favorite song at the time was "All the Gold in California."
Yeah.
And I remember getting that. I was like, oh my gosh, I felt so connected to the band, to the music. And it just kind of set my heart on fire differently. And obviously, 4 decades later, it reached a point like right before COVID. I was like, I want to start displaying this stuff. And I think there was a part of me that felt like kind of which I am, but felt kind of dorky. And, I was like, is this appropriate for a 30-something plus year old man to manish to like show this off? And I remember just reaching a point of like screw it. And, it's been really rewarding. And it's kind of what connected actually Dustin and me, literally, was music memorabilia.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's a funny story.
Yeah.
Fun fact is Cozy actually dropped it off.
Really?
So to tell the story why I did that. So I met you like passing at like a party or like a work thing, and you were giving some kind of speech. This was like 10, 12 years ago, and they'd asked you your success in real estate, and you said you were the first realtor on social media. Like that's where you got. And I think at the time you had the Rogers Healy is my homeboy billboards up. Yeah, it was a great time.
Yeah.
And
no coincidence, I was also very single at the time.
yeah, shocker. Again, I was not watching this. Yeah, I didn't see that one coming. And so that was the story. So when I got to the fitness world, there was not all these people were doing social media, but they were just doing like show the workouts. I was like, man, what if we showed something different? So I started creating these videos, and I watched a lot of the stuff you did, and I was like, man, this guy was the first one on real estate. He's having a lot of success. So I told him one day, I was like, man, like obviously doing the same thing in roofing. I didn't want to just send you some stupid like, oh, let's connect over coffee. So I saw your music, and I was like, man, that's amazing. And then I saw you were from Corpus.
Yeah.
And so I go, you know what? Anyone from Corpus that's in the music's gonna love Freddie Fender. So
what were you thinking of when you were messing with Texas? And Freddie Fender.
Yeah,
my grandmother's favorite musician ever. Fun fact.
Yeah.
She's no longer living, if that's why you decided to bring that up. And now we just took a really weird
Dark
twist.
turn. Yeah, that was not
Audience,
why I brought it up.
oh,
That is not why I brought it up. But yeah.
Well, thank y'all for tuning in today.
Show's over.
No, it showed Dustin's creativity and music audience snort. Yeah, they did. I've this stuff just brings me a different kind of joy. And there's been phases of my life where I just felt kind of alone or lonely, and believe it or not, like this just makes me feel like I have a different kind of friends, even though for the most part I've never met most of these people. Except for a few, which we have in the other room. I met them and put them in Dustin's van, and they're going to show up on episode 2. Yeah.
So do you think there's any correlation between like collecting anything but music for you and being an entrepreneur?
Like the collecting piece?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I'm a competitive person, and I also am extremely, I'm the exact opposite of a minimalist. I think if there's a term maximalist, I am one.
If there's not, you just coined it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maximalist. Or I'm excessive. My mom would always call me a hoarder. I was like, no, I love memories, and I like to see things, and I can literally walk around here and tell you exactly where I was when I got it, or I bought it, or I was gifted it. And I think there's parallels with business where, I think that part of being an entrepreneur is realizing that you are on an island, and all the cliches are true. It's lonely at the top, and it's easier to shoot you down than to lift you up. And I come in here and I'm like, man, for the most part, most of these people had some sort of struggle. And I think that seeing that where, for the most part, these are lead singers, and whether it's, I'm looking at Sting or David Ruffin or Don Henley or these other people, they had a story. And I think that that's what made them successful. Not necessarily they were the best musicians or the most talented, but they didn't know how to quit. And that's kind of part of our story. And that's part of why Dustin and I get along, is that I don't have any quit in me, which sometimes I wish I did, because I would rest more. But I just feel a connection to music, I think, unlike most people. And I think in business, there's parallels where you've got to find ways to, stay driven, because it does get tough. And if it wasn't tough, it wouldn't be worth it. And again, it's all part of the story.
I think it's too, for me, it's part of the escape, because it is, it's lonely at the top. You take people with you, but I don't think it's lonely at the top per se for that there's not people around, because you always have people around, but yet you always feel alone. It's the collecting is almost an escape.
Yeah.
So I go to my car, just like, these people understand me, even though they don't. It's to go in there, and I'm a hoarder. I'm the same way. My office looks like this, but sports cards and autographed memorabilia from Kobe. But I think it's that escape where you go in something you love that has nothing to do with work.
Yeah.
And you could just get away from it for a little bit.
Yeah, it keeps you balanced. And I think also, like, the as people collect whatever it is, and you could collect memories, you could collect memorabilia, you could collect sports cards, jerseys, whatever it is. As cliche as it sounds, I'm never going to be done.
Yeah.
Like there's never going to reach a point like, all right, I've got everything I was hoping for, on to the next. It's like, this is something that becomes an extension of me. And we've been able to take our children, really our 2-year-old back here, and just to see her, like her eyes get wider and to like do the rock and roll sign.
That's awesome.
It's so crazy, but nothing's for sale either. Right. I think that's what's a true collector is you have an emotional attachment to everything, literally everything in here. There's an attachment to it. And I think that at the end of the day, it keeps us grounded and it keeps you realizing like, hey, look, you know, there's only so much you can do at work, only so much money you can make. The people that are really, really at the top, they have nothing else to live for, not even their family or their faith. It makes me feel like a kid.
You said you're never gonna be done collecting, but something, you know, I know your work ethic, and I know it doesn't stop. Sometimes 5 in the morning, 11 at night, but one day it is gonna stop for work, right?
Yeah.
And it's all gonna be done as far as work. Doesn't mean it, but what does that look like for you? You've accomplished some crazy stuff in your career in real estate. You have some amazing stories, even like the Britney Spears story you can share, which I think is just awesome. And, you know, you've put yourself in position to be successful, provide for your family. But one day it is going to be done. I don't know why lately I've been thinking a lot about this, but when it is done.
Like death?
No, not quite. You're morbid. You're going to a dark place. But works related. Rogers Healy retires, and that part's over. So you use it sports. Yeah. You're retiring and you're hanging your jersey in the rafters. Not from a fun fact, Glory Road, which you starred in. You were Rogers Healy starred in Glory Road. He was a bench player in the championship, but he was in it. It's amazing. You got to check it out. What does that look like for you? The jersey's hanging up, when they hang up your Glory Road jersey in the rafters is done, you give a retirement speech. What do you want that to look like? What do you want to be remembered for from a business standpoint?
What the hell is that question? You're trying to ruin my day.
Not at all.
I'm never going to retire. Like I think there's something really dangerous in a great way. There's something lethal in negotiating. Whoever cares the least wins the most. And I feel like in life, as you progress and as you start working for things, and one of the things might be money, but it's not the only thing, you become dangerous. And I'm not like saying that I'm there, but my motives have shifted as God has blessed me with stuff that is a welcomed, I don't want to say distraction, it's a welcome change, but I'm never going to stop working. And I think that, you know, maybe when the venture side of things, the bets get bigger, or in the real estate thing, we can try things to scale differently. But you know, I think, frankly, my jersey either got burned or hung in the rafters when I met my wife, because worldly, everything else stopped mattering. And I feel like that's what hopefully a decent or a great leader does, is they learn how to pivot immediately. And for me, it took me, 40 years to meet Abby. And when that happened, I was like, all the things that I thought were important at that moment, I was like, holy crap. It literally, it means something, but it's secondary. And then the only way to amp that up is to have children, and to have multiple children, and to just realize you are mortal, right? And, Dustin and I, we're jokesters, but we also connect on a, emotional level, and we'll send like little videos or songs and stuff that just like hits you, and you're like, whoa, like, what am I doing? Why am I on my phone in front of my family? Or why am I It's like, you got to focus on the stuff that isn't there forever. And for me, I think that's what, kind of I like doing, is you got to lead by example. And I'm in an industry in the real estate side that is dog eat dog, which is fine, but there are so many rotten people, and they want to see you fail. And for so long I would sit there and be like, no. And it's like, no, I'm like, screw it. Great. If that's how you're going to operate, you do your thing. And I'm going to stay in my lane, which is a lot more fun lane than you're in, but I've got joy in my heart. And again, that is in large part because of work, because that is a big part of identity for a man, a woman, etc. But it's not everything. But I think work will evolve. And I think there's other stuff that, we're both pursuing outside of roofing and real estate, that if it wasn't for roofing and real estate, we couldn't pursue it at the pace. We wouldn't even have it, yeah. Yeah, and I think that's what's, I can't get resentful for doing real estate for almost 25 years, is because I've learned different gifts and skill sets that I can accelerate stuff in finance or memorabilia that other people don't have that skill set. And to me, it's like, I always want to be learning. And I think that's, again, a long-winded version of saying I'm never going to retire. I'm never going to stop. it's just going to shift, and I can take different risks, and the word risk can be defined financially, emotionally, from a time perspective, et cetera. But then at the root of it, I know we've talked about this, Dustin, to me, is that we can give back differently. And I think growing people, I mean, children for one, but giving people the ability to have opportunity is probably the most rewarding thing about being a business owner. And to be connected to that is just remarkable.
Do you think this has been huge for me, but I don't think I for years I called myself a leader, but I don't think I actually truly started leading people until I had a child.
Yeah.
I think having a child taught me the true meaning of leadership, because you're literally leading someone's life.
Yeah.
And I know for me, it opened up so many just doors and I think areas of opportunity where I had patience, but we probably have similar stories on who we were before we were single, before we met our wives when we were single. But
because you were dating like guys and stuff?
not quite. But you know,
not dating, but like
not
me
exclusively.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of Dustin when he used to have hair.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
Audience laughs, but it's not funny.
Long time ago. I thought you were gonna wear a hat for this episode. You said you were. Morrison Seeger. Shout out Morrison Seeger.
Yeah, no, I was waiting for the shout out. No, I never dated men.
Did you ever experiment?
Not once. I reached points of loneliness, but Dustin's like, trust me, you guys. Like, not a chance. Not a chance.
It was one time.
Nothing wrong with it.
It was one time, and we were in Hotel California. Music was sparking. Hey, dude, you know?
Dustin has a key to my house. And, yeah, he house sat for us once.
One time,
only
that's
once.
It. And they didn't take their key back. They just changed the locks. So
Yeah. Good luck getting out of that one. Sorry, back to the serious part about dying. You said we're mortal and that.
I actually did. You said that. I was talking about how kids change your life on business leadership.
Yeah, like our own kids.
Yeah, your own kids.
Yeah.
I would hope that somebody else's kids.
I mean, again, it's. I'll never forget when Healy was born. I actually.
It was like 2 years ago, so I'd hope not. But
yeah.
Since you remember all the music, but you don't remember. Yeah.
Well,
okay, continue.
Unbelievable. Healy, when you're watching this in 100 years, I'll never forget when you were born. I don't know the date. I'm joking. But I remember holding her for the first time. And I had never changed a diaper. I never held a newborn. And I was like, why is this? What's so different about this? Other than the fact that like the kid kind of looks like me. I was like, I'm using both hands, right? And you have to support a newborn's like neck and their head. And I was like, it was so weird not having this in my other hand. And, you know, over the course of time, again, it was a thrust into a new reality, which was the greatest thing ever. But I just started realizing, oh my gosh, I'm a pretty efficient person. But when there's a child or children, again, you learn how to be a little bit more efficient. And that has been crazy just to learn that. And to again, my yeses are yeses and my no's are no's. And I make the yeses and the no's a lot quicker than I did previously. You crying?
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. I was enjoying your answer before you decided to be a Richard.
Yeah, here's a fun fact about Dustin. He doesn't have tear ducts.
Yeah, no, I don't.
He doesn't know how to cry.
How did you know that?
Dustin's tears could cure world hunger. Too bad Dustin doesn't cry. There's a Chuck Norris joke. You never heard that? You know who Chuck Norris is? He's not MMA.
No, he's not a musician, so he's probably...
No. Also, Dustin was a child actor on Walker, Texas Ranger. If y'all want to look that up.
Yeah. No, not that show, but I was on another one.
Yeah, he was on Rocker Wex's Ranger. Yeah.
I wasn't on Glory Road, but
I was technically in it. Yeah,
you were in it. It's so great too. Yeah. You have to go check it out. But also, fun fact about Rogers, you have Morrison Seeger. Shout out Morrison Seeger.
That was fun. Thank you, Morrison Seeger.
Hey, you do own Intune Grading. Speaking of collecting.
Tuned in grading.
Tuned in.
Yeah.
Same thing.
No, yeah.
Same
I'm one
difference.
of the owners, yeah.
Yeah. And you just had the biggest sale ever for a graded record by the Beatles.
Yeah.
How long ago did you start that?
It's probably like 4 years ago. And then the company officially launched about a year and a half ago. And yeah, it's cool. It's just, it's a blessing and a curse the way that we're both wired. And I'm sure a lot of y'all watching this in the future, I think a benefit of my personality and a regret is if I have an idea, I'm going to go for it. And I think that means sometimes it's hard to deal with everything you have going on, especially, or most importantly with family. But yeah, there's a couple of my buddies that own a record shop, and they had an idea. I had an idea. We came together and started. We were the first company to grade and encapsulate vinyl records, LPs, and it's since grown at a really rapid pace. There's multiple players in the space, a lot of which are doing really well, which is awesome. And then last weekend, so February of 24, a Beatles record sold for $112,000.
Crazy. It was like grade 9 too. It wasn't even like it was perfect. It was grade 9.
And it was like their butcher. It was like the rarest Beatles one ever, and it was graded by our team. And I'm like, man, just to be a part of that is so crazy. It didn't make us any money, but it's just the impact piece. And you look at that and you're like, man, I'm part of that.
Yeah.
And that to me is legacy in business, and it happens to be in music, which that's a pretty special moment to bring those together.
But you do a ton of other investments, and I've got to be a part of them, and I really enjoy that piece of it. And it's something that I really want to dive into as my career advances. But I was pumped today because obviously one that we invested heavily in, Free Reign Coffee. Mm-hmm. Mark Wahlberg posted about it, right? Mm-hmm. So that was fun. But your investments, I mean, you have a bunch of them through Morrison Seeger, and that's kind of your, again, another music reference. So your company's name, Morrison Seeger, your kids. But if you can say, I know they're all your favorite, but which one's your favorite, or maybe which one is
investing on the investing side,
or
the kid side?
The kid, I would assume that
they're both,
it's the one that lets you sleep.
They're the ones they're both of them. The answer, I mean, they all have a different meaning. The first one, the Mizzen and Main, is a clothing company, a men's clothing company, and I was one of their first investors back in like 2011, 2010, and that company changed my life in the sense that like I learned the language, I learned the space, I learned how I can actually add value. So I'll always reference Mizzen and Main as far as just the one that kind of got me introduced to this, and then ironically, Goat Fuel. I think Goat Fuel will end up being hopefully our the one that people like know us for, because I was frankly really the only person at the time to make a bet on it, and it ended up becoming a real successful beverage. But we're in Liquid Death, we're in Waterloo, we're in some software companies, but they're all special. The common thread with all the deals that we're doing is that frankly I'm a customer and I can get behind it. And if someone like Dustin or me believes in something, whether it's a clothing company, a shoe company, jewelry, anything, like you're going to figure it out. And I feel like that's been really rewarding for me because like we did a company called Snaps, and Dustin and his team invested in it. Free Reign Coffee. I'm like, hey, he's like, they trust me, right? And if I'm
Go Fuel,
if I'm Tiff's Treats, if I'm pitching it, Nomad Girls, he's in that one too. If I'm pitching it, like there's it's sincere, and they're not all going to work. We had one not work last year, but it wasn't for lack of effort. But that's what's fun. So yeah, they're all special, but Mizzen and Main was the one that got me into the space. So that'll always be probably the most special. And then I think Goat Fuel is on a track to be a $1 billion company, like a lot of the other ones. But just the fact that, I mean, frankly, I don't think many other people at the time we committed had real interest. And to see the impact, we went from 100 locations to over 20,000 in a year.
Wow.
And it's in large part because of people like Dustin. And it's a different kind of reward.
And it really is I think it's a different side of the business. I thank you, but it was investing in somebody else is the true investment in people. And everyone says, well, I want to be an investor. And then until you have to write a check, and you're like, oh, here's the check. But it's actually taught me more from the Results Roofing side and the business side of empowering people and trusting them.
Yeah.
Because you really have no say in the company, right? Yeah. You can try to do certain things, but you do to a degree, but not like you do like Results Roofing. I control everything.
Yeah.
And so it's almost taught me how to empower other people on the investment side. Is like, okay, I can do my part, but I've got to trust these people. And it goes into the value of relationships. It's the trust factor I have with you. You say something, I'm like, done, man, because of the trust factor and the relationships, which I think, through everything in business you do, but not just business, but in life, you've got to have the right relationships and build true, authentic relationships. You said something earlier about the grimy people and that are in real estate, which are really in every business. But how have you, because you've been in real estate, 25 years plus?
Almost, yeah.
25?
24.
How have you dealt with that? How have you dealt with that in life of people trying to take advantage of you? burning you, but continue to move on and have success?
It's not easy. I think anyone that is telling you it's hard, and I'm a sensitive person. I take things seriously, and I think I treat everybody hopefully with respect, and to not get that in return, sometimes it stings. And to be an owner of a company where there is turnover, there's probably 2,000 or 3,000 people that have worked for my real estate company that are no longer working there. And that's hard. That's hard. I mean, it's hard to be like, holy crap, that's crazy. But I've learned, I tell people I want to focus on the focused, and I want to commit to the committed, and I want to, give my time to the people that are a part of it for the right reasons. But I don't think there's a secret formula, right? But again, having a wife and children, or something that's more important than work, is an immediate way to just say, whatever, like screw it. And most of these people, out of the 2,000 or 3,000 people, the common thread is that they're not us. And I have to come to grips with that too, is that the reason I was single until I met Abby, for real, is that every woman I tried to date needed to be, for the most part, like fixed. And that was my mindset, because in business, I'm good at fixing things. But when I reached the point, I'm like, all right, if we give them every opportunity to succeed, and if there's stuff we can do better, let us know. But if we do that and they still don't make it, then it's not my fault. And I say that with all due respect, because some people have done really well after leaving my companies. But it's a mindset. And again, I am like him, and like a lot of y'all, like I'm busy all day, every single day. And I do that intentionally, to where I don't have the luxury to spend 5 minutes being like, oh my God, this person stole from me or did this. It's like, okay, move on to the next. And I think by doing that, you look up and you're like, man, that was a month ago or 6 months ago or 20 years ago. And real estate, again, I do think real estate does attract a different animal. And again, not that roofing or other industries don't, but it's a industry where people think they're going to get rich quick. And I don't think that's what builds someone successful, where it took me a long time to make money in real estate, like years and years. And so that's just, again, what I've gotten used to. And then the only way to make it worse is social media, and to give people a false sense of reality that if they post a photo in front of a house that's not their listing, they're going to make $1 million.
The leads are going to flow in.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And instead of me being like, trust me, don't do this, I'm like, all right, sometimes the toilet flushes itself. And I have to just stay the course with what matters most to me. And it's this podcast.
The DG show, the DG, going crazy. Yeah, no,
family, faith. This episode is
it used to be family, faith. Now it's film, the DG show.
Yeah.
Family, faith. Yeah.
But again, back to the DGer show, which is launching right after this. Swipe right to subscribe. That's what we're going to do now. We're going to change the trends.
Yeah.
Swipe left. To unsubscribe.
I'm glad we had this on video. He was like, I like to take things serious. And then he goes, yeah, it's a fake.
This is what happens when you get me with no sleep.
Yeah.
Is I get really honest.
So what happens when you do have sleep? Because you're the same way. That's true.
I haven't slept in 20-some years.
We need to invest in some sleep medication. Since we're speaking of crazy.
Goat fuel.
Since we're going on crazy. Yeah, goat fuel. You can't say you're drinking goat fuel and you're sleepy, because that doesn't go together.
I've had so many. It is possible to overdose on goat fuel and free reign coffee. What were you saying?
Speaking of crazy, this fits right in. My favorite story of
your phase, like when you were...
That's not true either. Is your Britney Spears story. So probably the most iconic meltdown of a celebrity ever was Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And she was wearing a what t-shirt?
Just a gray one.
Yeah. What did it say on it?
It said, Rogers Healy is my realtor.
How did that happen?
Long story short.
It's not going to be short, by the way. It's Rogers Healy, but go ahead.
She got the t-shirt from her cousin and wore it. That's the end of the story. Yeah, I'm a marketing guy, and I think product placement is important with whatever you do. And so I had this idea when I got into real estate to get these t-shirts printed or made that just said, Rogers Healy is my realtor. And I sent them out to some of my friends, a lot of which were kind of famous or influential or connected. And one of them in LA was a friend of mine, Allie, who called me like a month later. She's like, hey, I lost my shirt. Can you send me a new one? I was like, sure. And then another week later, I was like, what in the hell? My mom calls, says, hey, put it on the news or TMZ or something. Britney Spears is wearing your t-shirt. I was like, what? And I knew,
crazy.
Britney Spears fans, they're like, back in the day, they were like the original Swifties.
Yeah, they're OG Swifties.
And I was like, all right, screw this. I'm setting up an e-commerce shop. And so I ended up selling a few $100,000 worth of t-shirts and hoodies and dog shirts, which coincidentally was the first payment. That was the down payment of my first home. It wasn't from selling real estate. It was from t-shirts.
Thank you, Britney Spears.
Yeah, so she wore it. And unfortunately, thankfully, she's better now. I don't think she's okay. If you've watched her dancing with butcher knives on that slate floor. But I never met Britney Spears. And then I come to find out that my friend Allie is her cousin, and it came full circle. And yeah, she helped me go. I guess I went viral before it was a thing. And if social media would have been around back then,
that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's going to go viral on the DG show, but we'll try our best.
Yeah. Mom, share this with your Facebook friends, please.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, it was just funny timing. And again, my ignorance played in my favor.
So that's the first. That's the first.
I'm saying I didn't know she was related to Britney Spears.
Yeah, but you just sent it to everybody. I got that. Thank you.
I sent it to 20 people, and I got the t-shirts printed on American Apparel, which at the time was like the nice t-shirt, and I spent $1,000 on these shirts, and
you bought a house from it.
I was like, I'll never see a return on this investment. I literally bought a house because of selling t-shirts, not real estate.
And you didn't give anything to Britney Spears.
She got, I didn't. I tell you, I would get calls from like People Magazine, like, can you confirm you're dating Britney Spears? Like, I was like, I can't talk about that.
You did do that, didn't
you? Dude, 100%.
Oh, this guy.
I was like, you're gonna have to talk to my rep. Like, who's your rep? I was like, well, it's actually me. I'm my own rep. But yeah, it was funny. I was in all the gossip magazines and all the gossip columns, and thankfully, my wife at the time was like in elementary school, so she doesn't remember it.
Yeah. But probably Chris Hansen. Hopefully,
he's on the other side of the store.
Yeah. Please have a seat. I was going to ask my next question about being successful, but I think we'll skip that one because I don't think it's relevant for this.
He's just trying to deflect from what we discovered earlier about when he was single and he had long hair.
I never had long hair.
Dustin's like, I went to Miami all the time. Yeah.
What?
You. That was a Dustinism.
You do that way too well.
Well, because I know Dustin.
Else.
Yeah, I know. And then he would do his hair flip.
Yeah, I never even had it, so that it doesn't even work.
Yeah, some people go to Miami. Dustin's like, no, I do Miami. Like, you need to do Miami with me. I was like, I'm not ever traveling with you, Dustin. He's like, it's a boys trip, and he does boys with 2 Z's. He's like, boys trips.
I think whoever held Britney Spears is.
I know, no, y'all. This is where it comes out. Yeah, I just got canceled. Remove this part, cozies.
We're not removing it. We're showing.
No, leave it. This is live.
Yeah, it's not live, but hey, this is live. He's like we're live. Yeah, we're on Fox News right now. If you didn't know, we're on Fox News right now.
Do you have any other questions for me?
I actually had one that I ask everybody, but I feel like I really do want to skip it.
I don't want to go to Miami.
You weren't invited.
Yeah, well, now I'm not. That was the question.
Yeah, they're definitely not going to let you. They're not going to let you in at all.
To where?
To Miami. They're not letting you in. I mean the people of Miami, because you're trashing their city.
No, they.
God, man. I was trying to be serious for a second. Of all, now I forgot what I was going to ask.
I'll ask it.
No, but
Give me that.
Are you ready?
Yeah, Rogers. Yes, Rogers. I'm here. Yes.
Okay, are you sure?
Of all.
Ready?
Yeah.
It's 2-part. Of all the pieces of advice you've ever got, what's the one over everything that you say is the best?
Oh, God. When you need a new roof, call Results Roofing or email them or message them on Instagram.
Or come on the DG show. But the real piece of advice, the best one ever. Of all the pieces of advice you got.
Be yourself, everyone else is taken. And it's a quote that I heard a few years back, and it changed my life. I do think, coincidentally, I have a podcast. I have 2. Dustin has 2 or 3. And one of them is essentially, it's a version of this. It's having conversations with people that have found success without being a sellout. And I used to think that was me with real estate. And the first few episodes I did, I was like, holy crap. I'm not being myself for a living, not necessarily with work, but just in general. And so, yeah, be yourself because everyone else is taken. And it's like with music, like when you hear a song, like Dustin loves Notorious B.I.G. And when he hears a song that he sings, he gets it and he feels it. And I think that's like falling in love. Like when Dustin met his wife and when I met my wife, or when I heard Don Henley sing, it just is a feeling. And I feel like, ironically, I wasn't living my life that way because I was doing, frankly, what I thought I was supposed to be doing or what other people thought I was supposed to be doing, not just with work, but in general. And stopping in my tracks when I was like 38 years old, hearing that, I was like, man, I really have to leverage who I am as a person and as a man, as a Christian, which eventually was as a husband and a father, etc., or really just a husband and a father. That was it. And I think that that's a really good way to live, as long as you do it without, like, we got to have some kind of boundaries. But yeah, I just want to be myself. And then through that, I tell people, I was like, I want to feel like a kid every single day. And there's going to be stuff that's going to suck. There's going to be stresses. There's going to be ups and downs. But if I can find a way to, capture this, then it's a win. And I think that just gives perspective. But again, Results Roofing, for all your roofing
We got
needs.
you covered.
Yeah, Texas, Florida,
All
places where it doesn't rain. We're opening up a location probably in the near future in random Arizona.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in the desert.
Yeah, just like Results Roofing is now doing pueblos.
We got you covered.
Yeah, we got you. Are you camping right now and it's raining?
We could do tents.
We're doing Results tents.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
But another
Yurts.
fun fact.
We're doing yurts.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a smaller tent.
For like your pets?
Yurts. Dog crates? Is your dog crate leaking?
We could do dog crates. Actually, that's like a big thing. Surprising, the big thing. Yeah, you're looking at the wrong camera, but it's okay.
I feel like Michael
He's
Scott.
like a Jack Russell Terrier for real. Like
Those are the worst dogs ever. I had one. I had one named Tarzan. It was the worst dog ever.
And he probably irritated you because he was like you.
He's jerky now. Like there's something like I got rid of him real quick. Yeah, I'm
You
joking.
just gave up your dog. That's so messed
I did, 100%.
Yeah,
Dog sucked.
I did.
It was a terrible dog. Yeah, I love dogs.
You got rid of God. But we did just actually landed a deal for Morrison Seeger to be an advisor for Results Roofing, which I'm super excited about to be able to partner.
Do you regret it now?
A little bit after the podcast airs and we get canceled, probably. But other than that,
Have y'all been recording?
Thank God, thank God, nobody will probably watch it.
Oh my God, I thought we were prepping.
Yeah.
Oh man, well let me sit up straight.
Yeah, put a hat on, get ready.
Yeah, no, back to the serious stuff.
It's not that serious, but I mean, I guess it is. Advisor role with Morrison Seeger to grow the company, obviously beyond heights, and I'm super excited. But I think it goes the power of relationships and how they can change your life if you do them the right way. You meet the right people. When I sent you those records, I didn't even leave my number on there, and I didn't have any intention of anything. Like people, what is your intention doing that? It's like, you know what? I'm thankful for the people out there that paved the way, and I'm thankful for seeing people do it the right way. I'm thankful for the people that are true, like you, BU. Everyone's taken. I love the BU. They'll adjust. You just got to be yourself, and you got to be authentic, and you want to connect with like-minded people. But man, thinking that was 3 years ago. 3 years ago, sent you some autograph records.
Yeah.
We were in contact, but we didn't really speak much. And then over time, the relationship grew.
He sent me a Venmo request, and the memo said records. And so
he never paid it.
I never paid it. This is me paying off the debt.
Yeah. So we did, and now we just struck an agreement to come on to the company.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's huge for everybody out there being an entrepreneur. Is look to partner with the right people first and foremost, because there's going to be a lot of bad actors out there.
Yeah.
And bad partnerships will be worse for your company than no partnerships. You got to find the right ones. And I'm excited about this.
Me too.
Obviously, I love our stuff, but
yeah, no, it's fun. And I think everyone has different leadership style and learning style. My preferred style of learning something is I would rather someone tell me maybe what not to do than what to do. And I think that's what's going to be fun. Real talk with the venture stuff. A lot of the stuff that we've been able to do and I've been able to do, it took me really 20 years to figure out the best use of me. And if our team and me and I can get involved with the Results brands, then I think that will hopefully help them elevate quicker, save them a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, but give them the ability to monetize to a different scale. Because again, I could be pissed off that it took me so long to kind of figure it out with the other companies, or I can be grateful. And being able to do that in a non-conventional way, it attracts us to each other professionally, because we should not have made it, right? Like we statistically should not have made it. And for some reason, God gave us the gift of resiliency, and it's given us a platform. And, this is an awesome opportunity that Dustin gives people. And he just never stops, right? And I think that's, again, it's the kiss of death, or it's a great thing when we get in the same room, because it just never ends. The creativity never ends. The opportunities never end. And, you know, the bonfire effect, right? Think about a bonfire. It's like it's a bunch of little fires that create one massive fire. And I feel like that's how Dustin and I both operate, is just how do we go and make sure these people are all burning 24/7. And then once they all come together, it's this force that you can't touch. You can't beat it. You can't touch it because it's fire.
Yeah, that'd be a bad. If you want to touch it,
but that's one of our new. We're actually creating fire gloves and suits. We're going to call ourselves firemen and women. Audience laughs.
One laugh of the whole thing.
No, there's only one person in the audience.
Yeah,
Two people.
Bat 1,000.
Yeah.
What? Before we go,
where are we going?
I'm not sure yet.
When people say, here's a question for you.
Yes. Okay.
'Cause you say this a lot. Two questions. One.
Yeah, I already know he's going with this. Where are you saying when you said let's go?
No, I was going to say ice baths. We get it. All right, we get it.
There's actually a fun fact. There's no ice in there.
Okay, cold plunges. Yeah. We get it, everyone. Okay, and I'm talking to you. We get it. But when you say let's go,
I told you.
Are you saying let's go to a cold plunge?
It depends what time it is. In the morning, then yes, cold plunge. If not, then let's go.
To a hot plunge?
Maybe.
Why? Here's a business idea. Why don't we do a lukewarm plunge for the people that maybe are a little bit afraid of cold or hot, and it's just a plunge for everyone else?
I think that's called a bath or a pool. I think they have that.
Well, which again brings it back to Dustin's phase of being single. Tell us about bathhouses, Dustin.
That's awkward.
Miami.
Yeah. But you notice how he goes, it attracts us to each other, our relationship. I'm like,
no.
Bro, you're bringing over the jokes over here.
There's a reason there's room for Jesus in between us, y'all. He had to sign a waiver before coming here, or I had to sign a waiver. Have y'all seen the Real Eyes Recognize van?
That's a sweet van, by the way.
It's huge.
That's what she said. But it is a very nice van. It is a very nice van.
Which is a quote by someone that went through a phase that is I've never said that is a very nice van to a good-looking man.
Well, good thing is I didn't get a chance to say that to a good-looking man. But other than that, he keeps saying attracted to each other. I'm just trying to ask some questions here. He's getting off topic. Is it because you have this black?
Are we recording this?
No, these are all fake cameras.
Yeah,
we just wasted your entire time.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, let me tell you the best story about Roger Healy. Let me tell you what kind of friend he is. So he's a great friend. He gifted me a Peloton for my wife one time. And he told me I could pick it up in front of his house. Asshole forgot to tell me that the thing was 800 pounds. And I had to load it up myself in a lifted truck. And instead of helping or doing anything, you know what he did? He just recorded it on his outside cameras and then sent it to me and my wife of me struggling trying to load this Peloton. Yeah. That's what are friends for. And then he edited it and made it even worse videos. Yeah.
Are y'all recording this?
That's what he did.
You're recording this?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah, I have the video. Well, actually, if we could move to the B-roll real quick, I'm going to show it to you. You could see him. You could actually see him sweating, and it was
so bad. It was horrible.
Eagle eye.
And he's just watching it on camera. I'm not. And then I tried to get it, almost fell, and then I tried to take a break.
But we could just say thanks for the free Peloton, Rogers.
Yeah. Or you could say no. At all.
Audience is growing.
Because it's terrible.
Yeah. It's a great story. If I could encapsulate my life into one story, it'd
probably be it.
The Britney Spears T-shirt or the Dustin Peloton.
I mean, my story costed you money because you gave away a bike that you were actually trying to sell, so it was double. But Britney made you money. So, is
Britney Spears here? Wait, does Britney Spears have the Peloton bike?
We gifted. We said, fun fact: since Rogers made all this money off of you,
bring her in.
We want to give you the bike.
Her in. She's coming with a butcher knife.
Yeah, you be careful. You're the one that you ruined my success. Your T-shirt ruined my success.
Take your T-shirt back. I shaved my head for a reason.
That's what took. She did shave her head. Did she break out car windows too that day?
With an umbrella, she tried to.
That's no good. No good. Yeah, with a Rogers Healy. That's what.
I was like, ugh.
And then this is what they thought. They thought Rogers was dating her, drove her to be crazy.
Yeah,
it probably was true. Actually, I can see
dating
that.
is a loose term.
Yeah,
stalking. Yeah.
I know how I got a T-shirt. Okay, first of all, thank you for your time today. That's all for the DG show today.
That's it?
That's it.
How long have we been going? 25?
45.
You have to do other things today?
Unfortunately, I do.
If I'm in here, I don't have to change diapers. Let's ask me 5 more questions.
5 more questions. Okay, you want to go 5 more?
I'm kidding. No. I'm proud of you, man. I think it's so cool what you do with your platform, and you're inspiring. And I'll be real for a second. I think out of all the stuff I like investing in, like people, but on the deal side, like Goat Fuel. What I liked about this the best is it was an energy drink for all the people that never had an energy drink before, right? Maybe it's for people that are extreme athletes or people that are, like late night studying. But the real is that it was for the people from the B to the Y, not the A and the Z. And what I like about Dustin, and maybe myself too, is that Dustin is a leader for all the people that really need leadership. And the best part about him is he does it from a genuine perspective. And I think that that's what you cannot buy, you cannot learn. You either got it or you don't. And so when I think of leaders I respect, I think of Dustin. And so it's really cool to see you use this platform, and excited to be your friend, excited for our team to be a part of your journey, and excited that you get to use this. This expired in December. Oh, man.
It's kind of like our friendship.
Yeah. No, not the Goat Fuel, this.
Yeah.
No, but I'm proud of you, man. And I'm grateful for you doing this. And all y'all that are excited or interested in collecting something, my encouragement to you is do it. And it could be something, whether it's a Kobe Bryant rookie card or a Don Henley signed album, there's something that probably makes you feel like a kid. And it doesn't have to be excessive. And if it is, then great. But there's stuff out there that it's okay. And surprisingly, there's a community for just about everything. Whether it's comic books, coins, Miami, there's stuff that you guys can find. And I think that's the power of social media to a different scale.
And the problem with the world is we're all just kids that grew up. If you don't grow up, I think your imagination and your ideas and the risk you'll take.
Yeah.
You grow up so much, you stop taking risk. And I think part of collecting, what you said, is collect something. Collecting is taking that risk. Like, you see something you want and you put your hard-earned money towards it and you have it, and it's like you hold on to it so you don't sell it. And it's the same as taking that risk in the business. You have to take that risk. And collecting for me is it's like the same thing. It's like you take this risk to buy something, right? But it keeps me like a child. And I think the best entrepreneurs, the best leaders are like childlike, because, like when Connor or Kobe or Gianna do something wrong, although it frustrates you, drives you crazy, there's things you don't want to do, you don't fire them for being your kids.
Yeah.
And so, and work, when you're leading people, yes, there's mistakes. You have to fire people for if they steal or whatever. When they make a mistake, it teaches you a little more patience.
Yeah.
Right. It teaches you a lot with the kids. And I think the collecting, it gives you something like, just powerful. Yeah. It's powerful to be able to go, do this, and you have this amazing collection around you, even a Britney Spears piece, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah. So thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
Thanks, man.
What are you doing? Do both. Rogers Healy and the DG show.
And then again, swipe right for the DGer show. We'll be coming out here soon, filming our first episode, not in Miami.
And I'm not going to be a guest.